Hello, everybody. Welcome to the High School Youth Action Team recruitment presentation. My name is Steve Nomiller. I'm with the City of Irvine, overseeing the High School Youth Action Team. I'm also joined by Lisa Osmanian. Say hello, Lisa.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you guys for joining us today. We will be going through the HSYAT High School Youth Action Team program, explaining the responsibilities of the job, and then we will get into the application process. So starting off, as you can see, that is our mission statement right there, creatively responding to the needs and interests of the teens in our community. We strive to meet the needs and interests of teens through a variety of events, activities, but we definitely stand by our mission statement, and everything we do kind of relates to that mission. So first off, I'm going to start off with a little history of our program. YAT was started in 1991. We had 3 staff at that time, 1 from Irvine, 1 from Woodbridge, and 1 from Uni. The program grew as the school districts grew. We added Northwood in 1999, Beckman in 2005, Portola in 2016. We have also had representatives from some private schools, including Turbot Vitora, Crean Lutheran, and Mater Dei. Those representatives lived in Irvine but attended those private schools. We started a middle school YAT in 1994. Another interesting note in 1999 is when YAT started clubs on campus. So for almost 10 years, YAT was visible and programming at all the schools. But we didn't start clubs until 1999. Some schools didn't start getting their club up and running until about 2003. So the important note about that is that YAT is not just a club on campus. We are a City of Irvine Community Services Department program that is offered at the IUSD high schools and Beckman High School. And so as you can see, those are some pictures of some of our past teams. The upper left-hand corner is our current team. And speaking of them, the next slide will show our current team. The important thing to notice here is some schools have 2, some have 3. We don't know which schools will have 2 or 3 each year. We wait until we have interviewed and select the candidates from each school. It has changed almost every single year. We really don't know who's going to have 2 or who's going to have 3. In addition to the students listed here, we have some additional staff who help us in the office. They're part-time staff, and they help us with day-to-day stuff as well as lead a lot of the youth action team programs. And now we're going to get into some of the components of YAT. Pretty much everything we do relates to one of these 4 components: youth leadership, education, social, recreational, and volunteerism. We're going to go through each of these, and I will start off with education. So here are some of the educational programs and activities that Youth Action Team offers on the high school campuses, such as voter registration. Our Youth Action Team staff will go through a training with our city clerk's office to offer voter registration to students who are 16 and older on each of the campuses. This is held sometimes once or twice a year. We also offer college campus tours, touring different universities throughout Southern California, where we provide the transportation. Those have become very popular programs that we offer. We do on-campus forums addressing different teen issues. A lot of these forums are during lunchtime and on a variety of issues and topics that teens deal with from day to day. A lot of them may deal with mental health, to financial literacy, to kindness, there's a wide range of topics, but we bring in speakers or sometimes have teachers be those speakers. And so we usually try to have at least 1 per month on every high school campus. In addition to on-campus forums, we also address different teen issues through prevention campaigns or wellness activities. That's where we might be doing an on-campus campaign on substance abuse or vaping or distracted driving. a lot of those campaigns, we work very closely with the wellness coordinators or counselors at each of the high schools. So that is going to be a very important part of this position, is working with different school personnel. And our program has definitely shifted more towards the wellness of students. And we work very closely, like I said, with the wellness coordinators at each school, meeting with them regularly to plan different things on each campus. Some of those wellness activities might include planning a succulent. We call it Stress Sucks, doing on-campus yoga or Tai Chi classes. It's wide-ranging, changes every year. Once again, it goes back to our mission statement. We're trying to meet the needs and interests of teens, but if there's a certain need, different issues change throughout time, and we try to address those issues and try to stay relevant to trends with Irvine teens. And then the other big event is our Teen Summit, which we usually host in March. It's a huge youth conference where students attend a variety of workshops with guest speakers. There's a raffle breakfast, and it's just a really great event, bringing hundreds of students together to learn about, once again, important topics that are relative to teens here in Irvine. All right, moving on, we've got social activities that we do, our recreational component, and this changes every single year. As listed are some of the popular events we've hosted in the event, including teen trivia nights, classes. We've had dance classes, cooking classes, all sorts of different classes that might be of interest to teens, writing contests, poetry slams, battle of the bands, comedy improv, acoustic nights, which we have named Acoustic Off for the last 15 years, and excursions. We've gone on excursions of museums and a wide range of activities. The neat thing about HSYAT is we can do whatever our team wants. So if there's something that's of interest to them, we can address that. If somebody wants to do a cupcake making challenge, we can do it. If someone wants to do a breakdancing battle, we can do it. We've done it in the past. And once again, this is trying to meet the needs and interests of teens. What are the popular things? For many years, we did Super Smash Brother tournaments. This year, we were planning to do an a cappella competition amongst different a cappella teams from the high schools. So this is definitely a more social component of, a lot of these events are held on like Friday nights, giving teens the opportunity to do fun, safe events during non-school hours. And at this time, I'm going to pass it on to Lisa, and she's going to talk about our two other components.
All right. So volunteerism. Now, volunteerism, especially for those of you that are involved in our Youth Action Team program currently, that's a huge component of our program as it is. And a lot of you are probably already involved in it. So just to let you know a little bit about our work in the community, we work with over 45 different nonprofits and local organizations in Irvine and close to Irvine. The last couple of years, we've completed over 10,000 hours of service cumulatively from all of our clubs and our students. And speaking of our students, we have over 500 Youth Action Team volunteers, which is amazing. We're really incredibly proud of all of our young people and all the work that they do. In addition to that, it's really important to know that the High School Youth Action Team doesn't just focus on one element or one need in the community. So for example, we don't just work, only with environmental issues and concerns. We are working with people who have special needs through our City of Irvine Disability Services program. We work with homeless populations and trying to help people just get off of the street, so that maybe with working with our nonprofit Grandma's House of Hope, or potentially OC Rescue Mission, or Working Wardrobes for that matter. And then working with youth, with little children, is also a very primary focus with our volunteering program. So as you can see from the photo, one of our staff members up on the top left-hand corner, she is face painting and working at an OCF holiday carnival, so for children who have cancer or other blood-related diseases. So we are really out there in full force in the community, making a huge impact. In addition to that, we are Presidential Volunteer Service vetted. So all of our volunteers who work through our program definitely could get that recognition in those hours. But we really utilize our staff to help recruit and do outreach and find all these different kinds of amazing volunteer opportunities for our high school members. And then in addition to that, we do have a winter, a spring, and summer camp available. And this is there so that students can also, when they have breaks and whatnot, get the opportunity to get to know other students that are in our program. And also we provide the transportation and the supervision. And they can go out and serve in different communities throughout Orange County and also accrue hours that way. So it's very comprehensive, our volunteer program. Another component that we want to discuss is youth leadership. So again, Steve mentioned what our mission statement is. In addition to that, our primary focus is really empowering young people and letting them be positive change agents in the community. And so to do that, we really focus on not only recruiting our staff, which we have, but then we also try to recruit other students to take on other leadership roles, such as our class representative program, and also sometimes be chairs or be part of our event committee. So for example, unfortunately this year we weren't able to do Relay for Life, but Relay for Life will ask students to come in and sit on those committees and to help us plan and coordinate and implement those different events. Another great example is also Teen Summit, and we create a subcommittee just for that as well. Our staff, in regards to leadership, so if you were selected for the position, you could also take a role on being part of our Junior Youth Action Team, and that is a program that almost all of the parks in the city of Irvine has for their young elementary school age children. And our staff have the opportunity once a month to create curriculum and really be a mentor and have relationships with the young students to pretty much socialize service. So the entire program is about, letting young people know, even elementary school age children know that they can make a huge impact in their community. And it doesn't matter how old you are to be kind and to help out. Another program we have is the middle school mentorship program. So our staff will be working with the middle school youth action team, which is at all the middle schools here in Irvine. And they'll be really, again, having a huge mentorship role. We get to meet with the students at least 3 to 4 times a year. And the students will be, our staff will be creating different programs and activities and really connecting with middle school students. So again, our program is really focused on making sure that we're not just, having volunteering and social events, but also making our young people step up and be engaged in being able to make the difference in, young people's lives, if possible. I wanted to focus on one slide or one picture on this slide, which is our Galentine's event. So at the top left-hand corner, you could see we have some of our awesome staff, our young ladies, and what they are doing is they're doing an event collaborating with the middle school program and the middle school young women who are, wanting to seek guidance and ask questions. And our young staff actually conducted a presentation, which was great, about self-compassion. At the bottom, you could see us having a great time with our class representatives. And so these are our appointed positions, like volunteer positions that we have. So just to let you know, HSYAT doesn't have on the club campuses or at the school campuses secretaries and treasurers. We have class representatives instead. So these are amazing, fantastic students who volunteer their time to help us propel our program and push forward our agenda and our events and activities. And then we have one picture here with our Junior Youth Action Team members having fun with Priscilla, who's one of our staff members, and Padma, both from Portola High School, and just having a really good time and connecting with them. So who creates the programs for Youth Action Team? As you can see, and like as Steve and I mentioned, it's all of our high school Youth Action Team staff. And they really are those liaisons between the teens at their schools and at all the schools and within the community. And again, all of our staff really represent all of the high schools, even in Beckman as well, and in Irvine, and just trying to, like Steve mentioned, listen to what teens need and try to address those issues in a very creative and proactive way. Our staff also coordinate, plan, and implement all of our HSYAT activities and programs. And I think what makes this program really unique is that our students are the ones, our staff are the one who are like, hey, we want to try to create this activity. So for example, the acapella, event. And we're, Steve and I, we are like, great, let's try doing this. Let's make this happen. And we pretty much guide and help our staff make those decisions, recruit who they need to recruit for these activities, and pretty much try to just make it happen. So there's not a very top-down approach. It's not like we're telling our staff or other people are telling our staff what to do. Our staff are really able to be creative, plan these activities, and then execute them. So if you're interested in this position, here are some job duties and responsibilities for you to just keep in mind. I know Steve will mention this at the end as well, but it is absolutely crucial that you can attend every Monday night with all of our staff and to be available at all Youth Action Team sponsored events. That Monday night date cannot change. We need you, if you are selected, to be there every Monday night. There is no way that cannot happen. So Steve and I always joke around at this presentation. The one question we will give you that will definitely be on the interview will be, are you available on Monday nights? If you happen to say no or hesitate or have some form of reservation, I can guarantee you that you probably will not be the best fit for this position because you need to be available on Monday nights. So please just keep that in mind. Other job duties and responsibilities, you, if you are selected, will be the ambassador basically between the city of Irvine and your school and the teen population. So it's really important that if you're considering this particular position, you have to ask yourself, are you a person that feels really comfortable being, an active listener and sharing ideas and connecting people and networking? Because this is a lot of what this position's about. And so you have to be prepared for that if this is something that you're considering. Other job duties and responsibilities is help design, plan, and implement teen activities, services, special events, and projects, even teen forums and volunteer projects. So again, it's very much focused on this whole team component. And again, we are really looking for individuals who are innovative and are just really interested in trying to make things happen. That's the reason why we're called the Youth Action Team. We're all about action and really planning and implementing these activities to really enrich the lives of young people. And then lastly, job duties and responsibilities would be representing Youth Action Team on various committees. So as I mentioned in an earlier slide, we do have a class representative program. Our staff will need to be sitting on those committees, Teen Summit Committee, like Steve mentioned, or the Teen Summit program or event. We would need Youth Action Team staff on that as well. We also have committees that are really focused on pretty much serving the council, city council, and commissioners and dignitaries. And so we need our staff to be really comfortable, to speak their minds and speak for the overall teen population. So there's a wide spectrum of committees that our staff will be on. So this is like my favorite part of the presentation, the benefits of YAT, because as I know I'm biased and probably Steve's biased as well, but us as coordinators of this program, we can clearly see all the benefits of this program, and we absolutely love Youth Action Team, and we absolutely love that we're really able to positively connect with young people and be part of their high school experience in their lives. So the benefits, there's just so many. These are just a few. And obviously, you are getting paid. This is like one of the best jobs you could possibly, this is the best job you could possibly have as a high school student. And you get paid generously, very well. So that's obviously one of the benefits of Youth Action Team. Event planning. So if you've never planned an event before, or like if you have a little bit of experience, Steve and I and our team will just help you hone in onto that skill set and help you execute and plan a successful event. team environment. We have literally, Steve and I have been with Youth Action Team for, Steve, how long have you been with YAT?
20 years.
20 years, okay. And I've been with YAT for 15, 14 and a half, 15 years. The team environment and the relationships that we make with our staff and with our staff make with each other are lifelong. And so that is a huge benefit of this program. We have students and staff who are now in their 30s, who still connect, who go to each other's weddings, who network with each other professionally, that have been on the same teams and not even on the same teams, which is great. So our network and our ability to really connect with our team is huge. So that's definitely a benefit that you would have being part of this program. There's a huge mentorship component. So I know I kind of mentioned that right now, but it's really great. Like, for example, Steve and I, we will mentor you as much as we possibly can. And our staff get to mentor, like I mentioned earlier in slides, elementary school kids, middle school age kids. So the mentorship is really just everywhere. And it's really great that our program can provide that. Fundraising, we need to go out and get sponsorships and fundraising. So this is a great way for our students to feel really comfortable, our staff, and be able to really communicate with businesses and with different groups of people and really learn what it's like to do that. We actually had a staff in the past from UCLA. He was attending UCLA at the time. He was going for a position, a appointed like presidential position at UCLA. And Steve and I found out that you actually have to pay to even put in an application to run for a position at UCLA. And so one of our students, through his experience with YAT, was able to get a froyo company around the corner at UCLA to pretty much help fund his campaign and his application, which is phenomenal. And he told us, oh, it's for my experiences with YAT and all the fundraising I did. And that's really amazing. Other benefits is experience in municipal government, working for the city of Irvine. It's pretty rad to be a high school student and hold a government job. I mean, that's like impossible. Like usually there's no positions like that. But here with us, with the city, for the high school program, we have that. Just your knowledge of nonprofits will greatly expand due to the rapport and the relationships we have with all of them. I still have alumni staff who contact me being like, oh, I remember we worked with Families Forward, can I get their connections again? But I remember I worked with so-and-so. Are they still, part of the program? And we can really help out with that and let you learn more about the nonprofits, and you can be the resource to help others. Working with city officials. Our students, I'm going to show you on a slide, we had a meeting with Councilmember Quo. So you really get to interact with dignitaries and with different people and get your voices heard. And then ultimately and obviously leadership. That's another huge benefit with YAT. We added this slide just because we thought it'd be pretty great, but here are some of our alums who mentioned to us and have shared with us how they feel about our program. So Namrata mentioned from Northwood High School, YAT helped me improve my communication and event planning skills. I know that I had the experience I need to find a full-time job. Tony Cam, this was actually just at Teen Summit. He told Steve and I after the entire day was over, we were packing up, we were the only ones left at Lakeview Senior Center. He said, out of all of my high school experiences, and just to let you know, Tony's wasn't really involved at Woodbridge High School. He said out of all of them, he feels that YAT was the most memorable and the most transformative of all. I mean, if you know Tony, that's a really powerful statement. And then lastly, Pratyusha Yamalanchili, she mentioned, this is no ordinary high school job, not even a college one. The skill sets I've learned in YAT and the lifelong friendships I made were invaluable. So luckily for Steve and I, we just always get showered with really great positive feedback. And also just, we get to connect with our alumni all the time and with our staff and just really see how our program has made a difference, not only in our staff's lives, but in others as well. So here's just a few pictures of us having a good time. One of the benefits of YAT is unlimited nachos and learning how to make nachos for the rest of your life. That's just a given. Also with popcorn. In the second slide, with all of our staff this year in a van, we were actually heading to Deloitte headquarters, one of the Deloitte business offices in Orange County. We're meeting with one of our alumni and doing a training there. So again, I kind of mentioned networking. We definitely network. We work with our alums. We get different professional development trainings too. So that's definitely a perk. There's Council Member Quo. In the next picture, he went to one of our staff meetings, spoke to our students about issues Irvine teens are facing. And then as you can see, we're just having a good time, which is really awesome, really connecting with our class reps, with just different people, connecting with the community, connecting with PD. So it's pretty awesome. Here's some other great pictures. Our staff get to be involved in Global Village and other citywide events, which is fantastic. There's a picture of Christina and Megan taking a selfie. They're at a Shade Tree Partnership, so they get the opportunity to really just learn a lot about the nonprofit world and just do a lot of really fun activities.
All right, thank you, Lisa. And just to chime in a little bit more on benefits of YAT, yes, it is no ordinary job. What you see on your high school campuses, YAT staff doing stuff at lunchtime or running a club meeting or doing an on-campus forum, that really is maybe only a quarter of the work that they do. There's so much more that our staff are involved in that most high school students will never see. Like Lisa mentioned, I mean, that you are the voice for Irvine teens. You are, you know, up to 15 students representing 12,000 teens in Irvine. So when people want to know what's going on with Irvine teens, they're going to go to Youth Action Team first. And they get called upon to do all sorts of creative, interesting jobs throughout the year. I mean, there was a slide of them serving ice cream to police officers, to introducing bands at the Global Village Festival. It's wide ranging what this position offers. And it's just so much more than just running a club on campus. All right, so at this time, let me talk a little bit about the application requirements. You must be a high school student entering 11th or 12th grade at a school in Irvine. It is a ability to serve on YAT until June 2021. So that is a one-year position. This is a one-year term, regardless of which grade you are in. If you are a sophomore and you are selected, and so you serve on YAT your junior year, a whole new team is selected, and there may be opportunities for you to continue working for the city of Irvine after your term on Youth Action Team, regardless of what grade you're in, but your actual term on YAT is just for 1 year. Ability to dedicate up to 10 hours a week to Youth Action Team. I would say it's like 5 to 10 hours. You got to think every Monday you're going to have that 2-hour meeting. A lot of times we have committee meetings or other meetings right before there. So those Mondays from, I'd say, are 4 to 7:30 are pretty important. We get a lot done during those Monday meetings. Of course, your hours would also include anything you're doing on your campus, running club meetings, putting up posters, meeting with wellness coordinators, counselors, activities directors, meeting with your class reps on campus. Anything that you're doing that's promoting Youth Action Team is going to be a paid part of the job. Also, you really get to 10 hours when we have like a special event. So if we had a Battle of the Bands, that could be a 4 to 5 hour shift right there. Teen Summit's like a 6-hour shift, 7-hour shift. Plus, there's a wide variety of committees that staff sit on to get those hours up, whether it's a social committee, a community services committee, a fundraising committee, or if you're one of the staff that sit on a citywide committee, such as the Irvine Children, Youth and Families Advisory Committee. Those are additional meetings that staff will sit on throughout the week, quarterly, getting those hours. But you really need to be able to dedicate minimum of 5 hours a week to Youth Action Team, and then on sometimes it might get closer to 10 hours a week. So it rarely would I say it gets over 10 hours. It would be a pretty unique opportunity, pretty unique week. We'd have a lot going on, but I would say on average it's about 5 to 7 hours a week dedicated to Youth Action Team. Like Lisa mentioned, attend all Monday night staff meetings. Now we understand things do come up. Obviously, if you're sick, you stay home. We understand sports schedules might get in the way. You might have a game or two on a Monday. We're flexible to that, but it just cannot be a reoccurring trend where you're missing months at a time. That's just not going to work well in this position. We do understand that occasionally things do come up from time to time. But for the most part, a lot is done at those Monday night meetings. And then some other skills we're looking for: ability to understand concerns, ideas, and issues affecting teams. Once again, you are paid to think in this position. So being able to share your opinions are very, very important. Ability and willingness to actively listen and consider many different perspectives. Once again, we're bringing together 15 different students together. They have different ideas. So we want to be able to work very collaboratively together. Plan, organize, and implement special events, big component of youth action team. Willingness to interact with community groups, businesses, school administrators, teachers, and all students. So we are definitely looking for people who can go out there and get people involved in the community. So going out and talking to all students, freshmen through seniors, going out and meeting with teachers, talking to your admin, going and meeting with the business community, trying to gain sponsorships. But that is really one of the biggest components of this job, is getting students involved in their community through a variety of resources, whether it's through service or social events. That is a very important part of this job. And of course, we are the youth action team. The ability to work in a group and teen environment, we really stress being able to work with others in that team environment, which is also a teen environment. All right, moving on to the next slide. Application. So everyone must apply online. It's at cityofirvine.org/jobs. You'll click on all the different opportunities, scroll down, find High School Youth Action Team Department Aide. The Department Aide is the actual title of the position. It might be called School Representative. Regardless, it's the only job that says HSYAT of all the jobs listed through the City of Irvine. You will create an account and submit all of your information. There is a supplemental question, pretty simple. Why do you want to be a Youth Action Team member? So answer that in your application. And then we also are asking everyone to submit a resume detailing your work experience, school, community activities. Now, we understand a lot of you, this may be your first job, but so your experience is what you've done in high school. So leadership that you've held, sports, clubs, like just give us your entire like high school career. Something that we are not asking for is anything you did in middle school. Please do not put anything that you did in middle school in this application. This is a high school job. We want to know what you've done since freshman year, and how you've been involved in your school and what you've been passionate about. It could be stuff that you've done in the community as well, maybe through your church or through a service organization. So just kind of list like your entire high school career in that resume, or just a document that just outlines everything that you've done.
I have a question, Steve.
Go ahead.
So what happens if you were an avid middle school youth action team volunteer? Is that the one exception for middle school, or are we just expecting our students not to talk about middle school?
You're welcome to put that in there. I don't know if it will carry too much weight. We really want to know what you've done in high school. It's nice to then see if someone has been in, say, junior youth action team, middle school youth action team. I mean, that would show that you are dedicated to this program. So yeah, that would be a good example of seeing that your history of it. But we don't need to know that you won the 7th grade science fair, or that you were a homeroom rep in 8th grade. For the most part, let's keep it to high school.
Perfect.
And the closing date. So you must complete that application, your essay, and that resume or outline, all those materials by Monday, April 13th at 5 p.m. sharp. I cannot stress how important that 5 p.m. is. If you apply at 5 o'clock and 1 second, you will not be on the youth action team next year. There are 0 exceptions to that. Please do not wait to the last minute. If you push submit, even probably at 5 o'clock sharp, we may not get your application, and there's nothing we can do about that. So this position has been open for over 6 weeks, or will have been open for over 6 weeks. Please don't wait until the last minute. Please get your application in, push submit before 5 o'clock. and you will be good. Once again, there's the email again. If you have any issues with your online application, please contact Jen Hale at Human Resources. That is her email. So please email her and she will email you back. I don't know what it might be, but whether for some reason you're having a computer issue or you don't know if your application got submitted, please refer any questions relating to the online application to Jen Hale. Another thing to note is that anybody who applies for this position will be interviewed. The interviews at this point look like they're going to be a online interview, whether it's through Zoom or another program. Interviews, we'll get to that on the next slide right now. There it is. So here's the hiring process. It's open right now. Students can apply for the position, get that application in by the April 13th, 5 p.m. deadline. And then over the course of potentially the next 3 to 4 weeks, we'll be interviewing people for these positions. We will contact you with your interview times and options, and you guys will select the interview that works best for you, the time slot. They probably won't start until after April 20th. It could potentially be a little bit later, but they will not be earlier than April 20th. And there may be the opportunity for second interviews. We have done it in the past. It just kind of, we have to wait and see how it all shakes out, and we've interviewed everybody. We will interview all students who apply, and you will not hear back regarding your status until we've interviewed everyone for the position. All right. And because Youth Action Team, we're always promoting upcoming events and our program, here's a couple things that hopefully you can get involved in now. We did start a community board on Padlet. There is the link right there. The link will also be found on our Instagram. Our Instagram is right there at HSYAT. Please follow us. That'd be fantastic. But we're using that board for a variety of online events. We're looking at doing some virtual trivia nights, talent shows. We have numerous posts on wellness. We're looking to have doing our forums online, bringing in some speakers to talk about different teen issues, service projects, teen engagement, and then other resources during this challenging time. So please go and check out our community board and follow us on Instagram. And if you have any questions, please email us. Lisa and I will get back to you as soon as possible. You could also email hsyat@cityofirvine.org. But please feel free to email us any questions you have regarding the application. We will respond to you as soon as possible between now and the deadline. We are not in the office, so we probably will not get a phone call if you send us, if you try to call us. If you leave us a message, we can call you back, but we will not be answering our phones, probably for some time now. But please email us, and we will get back to you as soon as possible with any questions that you have about the position, about the High School Youth Action Team program, or anything else. And I think that concludes our presentation. Lisa, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, so I just wanted to add two things, just two quick Q&A issues that may arise, or not issues, but usually these are two questions that always come up at a job recruitment, job info night. So one is, just to let you guys know, if you're worried about your summer, that's usually always a question Steve and I get, like, I have a really crazy summer. Will this affect me getting the position? Steve and I really try hard to start our teams up as soon as school ends. Obviously, this year is in a unique situation just because we don't really know what will be happening with all the current events. However, we try to, during the summer, really primarily focus on a lot of team building and a lot of trainings and brainstorming for the following year. So if you are gone a lot during the summer, it's incredibly unfortunate. There's a lot that, you know, if you were selected, you would have to make up. But please do not like not apply. Like don't don't think, oh, my summer is too crazy, this is going to affect me, I won't apply for the position. Because we will try. We've had some staff that had pretty impacted summer schedules, but we definitely were still able to make it work. So that's usually one of the questions Steve and I get, like at an info night. Obviously, the more open you are during the summer, the better it is for us, and that we would greatly appreciate that. But we also know that there's some things that maybe cannot be moved around or cannot be changed, and we can work with our staff on that. The other second question that usually comes up when we do these info nights is people ask what a typical work week looks like. And I know Steve mentioned at the very minimum 5 hours, but ideally, it could be up to 10 hours a week. But we always have a lot of students who are curious, how do we set up their schedules? And during those Monday nights are really the crucial moment where we all sit together and we have an agenda from what we're doing that week to all the way in like 3-4 months from now. So during those meetings, those Monday meetings, we really sit down and we talk about what needs to be done, who's having meetings, what, subcommittee meetings, whatever it may be. And during those Monday meetings, our staff builds pretty much their schedules for the next week or 2 weeks or whatever, however long it is. So just keep that in mind, that there isn't like 2 to 5 every single day, whatever it may be. We really try to coordinate and work with each other's schedules and make things happen during those Monday meetings. So you'll always know, for the most part, when you're scheduled and when you're going to have hours, and then also be able to plan around other school activities that you're doing too. Steve, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's pretty good. We encourage you all to apply. This year, we are really looking to hire students who we feel are going to be the best representatives of both the city of Irvine and your schools. It is open to all students, whether or not they've been involved in YAT in the past or have been very involved. It's really about selecting the best students to represent the city of Irvine. Forget what I was going to say.
All right, but yeah, again, if you guys have questions, just let us know and we can help you guys out. I just wanted to address those 2 questions because usually, hands down, they always are asked at our meetings. But we hope you enjoyed this presentation. We hope it was helpful. Again, you can always contact us with additional information. And yeah, I think that's it. We hope everyone has a really great day, and we look forward to seeing your applications.
Thank you.